This week, we celebrate Columbus Day the old-fashioned way. We don our hazmat North Face jackets and Ugg boots and prepare for the great pumpkin spice fallout of 2017. And things get wibbly-wobbly, timey-tipsy when we embark on an adventure with Drunken Who. We have a dream, an agenda, and we clearly just want to watch the world burn in a blazing ball of anarcho-nerd culture. It's Lose a Turn. Welcome to it. Greetings and salutations, I'm Chuck Mullins, and joining me this week we have Jordan Straub, Jack Mullins, and Matt Herring. How you guys doing?
Doing
all right.
You doing?
Yeah, I'm about there too.
You're about there? just about doing.
Just about doing.
So, naturally, we like to start these things off with our new inductee into our Hall of Superhumans, and this week we have one of the most interesting inductees. We have Drunken Who, a man who was busted in Wyoming this last week for doing nothing else other than trying to protect all of humanity. It seems that the aliens are going to invade Wyoming in 2018. These same aliens, for some reason, felt it necessary to warn us of their impending, takeover by sending a soldier back into the past from the year 2048. Unfortunately, as these things are wont to do, he ended up in the wrong year. He was supposed to show up in 2018, but accidentally made it in 2017. I don't know why. I think the more warning we have, the better, but he was clearly distraught that he was early to warn us. Unfortunately, also, time travel in the year 2048 seems to require a ridiculous amount of alcohol. This is what fuels the time travel. It's the catalyst for this ability. So his warning fell on deaf ears, and he was just arrested for being insanely drunk with like a 0.13 blood alcohol content. So, Drunken Who is now in the slammer, unfortunately.
Hold on. Wait. Time, alcohol, relative dimension in space, right? TARDIS?
That's absolutely right.
I'm more concerned
it's drunker
about
on the inside.
It's drunker on the inside.
So you're telling me they still have phone booths in Wyoming?
Well, no, just a blue bottle.
Yeah, that's absolutely right.
That's not alcohol.
He described his mode of transportation.
What do you think the legal limit is for time travel?
You have to be over a certain amount to time travel.
I think it depends on which direction you're heading to.
That's true. But I mean, it makes sense. I mean, the human brain, despite its problems, is a pretty resilient piece of machinery. And perhaps we actually don't black out whenever we're drunk. We just slip through time. I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense to me. I think I've time traveled pretty on the reg.
Well,
Chuck, the bathroom was not in the future in your bedroom. You pissed your bed. Get over it.
In the future, the bed absorbs it, dude.
So what you're telling me is all that when you go over a 0.1 alcohol blood, whatever, you end up like activating a dimethyltryptamine soup in your head, and then all of a sudden you're just able to tap into the ether and move through time. Is that where we're going with this?
It's not the ether, it's the ethanol.
Well, I mean,
if
that's the case, then I always just get stuck in some weird void of blackness, because that's all I remember whenever I wake up the next day. I'm in the void somewhere out there.
You're going to the dark ages, buddy.
Yeah.
The scariest thing is if like somebody got drunk and could time travel, you know how many fucking weird looking animals we'd start having? Because somebody would time travel hammer and just be like, I don't care, I'm gonna fuck it.
I don't think that's genetically possible, but maybe in the future, who knows?
Yeah. Or the past, when chromosomes were a little bit closer.
Just a little bit closer. Yep. So unfortunately, as with most of our heroes, he's currently seeking legal counsel. Just unfair, I swear.
Or he might just be seeking a handle of Jack so that he can get out of here.
Return back. Yeah. So I sent y'all a link, and I'm not sure if y'all watched this the other day, but for the trailer of Sci-Fi's new upcoming, you know what?
Is it a movie or a TV show? I was really confused.
That's exactly what I was about to ask. It is a TV show, even though the premise seems like it would be a movie format.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just like the premise of the first season or whatever. Yeah, actually, it's exactly what I was thinking. But happy! Exclamation point at the end. So it's very like Who Framed Roger Rabbit-y in the fact that you have a gritty cop turned hitman who seemingly can't die, and then he does die, then is resuscitated and brought back, and sees a little girl's imaginary friend, a tiny
voiced by Patton Oswalt.
Yeah. I'm so glad he's back. I mean, just his comedy and his voice are distinctly amazing, but it's just good to see him back in things after all the sadness he's gone through. But it looks friggin' amazing, and it should be coming out this December, so we get a little treat for Christmas. December 6th is when it debuts on Sci-Fi. The one thing that I want to bring up about this is that it is an adaptation of a comic written by someone who I have gone on record for maybe a couple of years. Not quite in his corner. May have made a couple of skits talking about how evil he was. Maybe I was misguided. It's nerd rage, guys.
Morrison's just not good for Marvel, that's all.
Yeah, but this is a Grant Morrison joint, and it looks fucking amazing. Like, this
awesome.
Looks like the TV show for me. So I would recommend y'all take a trip to Google and
I saw that trailer, and I actually watched it probably 5 times after that, showing to every individual person in my house separate times within an hour. Like, it was so cool.
Now, another thing. What? No,
I was going to say, it does have very curious cinematography. Something that worried me, though, is like that kind of ends the moment they introduce the magical unicorn horse. There's a noticeable distinction in how they're filming everything after that point. And it would make me very worried about this series if Sci-Fi hadn't done things like The Magicians recently, which was just an amazing adaptation.
I'm wondering if that's... go ahead, Chuck. Sorry.
Well, I was going to say, whenever Sci-Fi first kind of became a channel, it was the last fucking place I would look for any good fucking sci-fi, you know? I mean, I would be like, no, I'm going to watch Star Trek. I'm going to watch real shit. And I'm glad they kind of leaned into their hokiness and, started doing crazy shit like Sharknado and Mandelabra, the human candelabra. Okay, that's not real. But I was honestly surprised. I would say, I can't remember, probably about 6 or 7 years ago, maybe more, whenever they did an adaptation of Alice in Wonderland, starring Andrew Lee Potts as the Mad Hatter, and it was a twisted sci-fi kind of spin, and I honestly really dug that, and that's when I started taking them seriously. So I do give, and Magicians is absolutely fucking amazing. I love that fucking show. So. Another interesting thing is they're also doing another series coming up based off Brave New World, which is also being adapted by Grant Morrison. So it seems like Grant Morrison and Sci-Fi are pretty much besties for life right now. I don't know what's going on there.
They're working to put a hit out on you, probably.
Shit.
I kind of feel like Brave New World would be better done by Starz or HBO. It's really, it goes dark places. I mean, for anyone who's not familiar, it's like this post-apocalyptic something probably happened, and now everything, you're not quite sure if this is communism gone wrong or authoritarianism veiled, but it's really crazy. and dark and everything like debauchery is encouraged to make sure that people remain just submissive to control. I'd be really interested to see whether or not sci-fi can pull that off.
I don't know. I mean, like we just said, I think they have a couple points in their favor. So it's definitely
you're right. And they did Magicians, so
yeah,
going
seeing
back
how
there.
that plays out. God, that's so good. By the way,
I
if
don't
y'all
want the
don't
new
watch
season
Magicians,
now.
do it.
I've definitely seen
it. Fuck yeah, it's so good. So moving on, we also have more. It's no longer rumors. It's just that they're finally taking action on the process of making, Matt, brace yourself, a live action Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
Yep.
Ugh.
Yep. I wish there was some kind of. I wish I can see some kind of like clip or anything like that, some kind of leak footage, just so I can. Because I really don't know what to expect going into this, and I expect garbage.
You know
anyway,
exactly
but...
what to expect, dude. I said live action.
Yeah,
I dare you name one live action adaptation. Hopefully, Happy will be the exclusion to this rule. That ever fucking panned out, and it's a movie. It's not a series. It's a movie. I mean,
Pixel.
I know we.
Pixel, yeah, great
That
movie.
Adam Sandler joint. You actually watched it, or are you being sarcastic?
I absolutely sarcastic.
Yeah, that's definitely sarcasm.
I
mean,
blanked it from my mind until Jack brought it up on the show, 6 or 7 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Now, I have to say, growing up, I absolutely loved Jason Lee, just from like watching him grow from like Mallrats and My Name Is Earl and seeing him in Dogma
Or even
and
back
shit,
whenever
like,
he was in a pro skater. Like
yeah, right? I mean, like, I'm a huge Jason Lee fan, but him and David Cross, when they started trying to fuck those chipmunks, like, that was just too much for me, and I can't go back from that. Garfield and the Smurfs, those were amazing movies. Those worked so fucking well. Sonic is in bed with Hooters and is now about to have a live-action movie.
Oh,
what
yeah.
the fuck are they going to do?
I forgot about that little
Next
bit of detail
is
there.
the Huey, Louie, and Dewey Duck live action.
You know what? Actually, there is an exclusion to that rule. Howard the Duck.
Thank you.
Howard the fucking Duck. That's a property you
Yeah.
can translate into real world. That fucking works. That carries.
Tits.
Well, there's Guardians and
everywhere.
Guardians of the
Duck
Galaxy.
tits.
Duck titties.
Yeah, Jack. I mean, like, you have a
Yeah.
point there, but I think that doesn't really count as that same genre.
I agree.
I mean, that's
I
a
agree.
comic book adaptation. Well,
Yeah.
so is Howard the Duck. Shit,
And
I don't
so
know.
is
I'm talking
Happy.
in circles.
You included
Yeah.
Happy in there earlier.
Okay, so I guess I'm
so-
saying video games and cartoons don't adapt
Yeah.
well.
So, of course, I want to spend a moment on this. Which way would you prefer them to try to make this live action? Do we need some big guy in a Sonic furry suit and use some CGI to shrink him down and make him look like he's moving really fast? Maybe some CGI like Super Saiyan, Supersonic thing going on? Or do we want to do it just a man hedgehog, like a were hedgehog, and it's all makeup, almost like an Avatar creature? What are we?
No, we're gonna paint
What's
Ron
the
Jeremy
best way
blue.
they can do this?
That's
Just leave
perfect,
his-
dude.
just
That's
leave
gonna
his belly
save them
unpainted.
so much fucking money.
Oh.
Throw some chili dogs at him and we'll be good to go.
I got a chili dog for you. Gotta go fast. Gobble gobble.
Get Knuckles over here.
Now, the adaptation I would want to see of this is, the whole entire world is fully CGI except Sonic. He's just...
So it is a fully CGI. It's like the crap. What was it? Never mind. Not even worth the reference. But
Exactly where I wanted to go with that, Jack.
Yeah.
it's like Cool World, but with a blue Ron Jeremy interacting with cartoon characters.
I want him to just get like chloroformed bag over the head, dropped off in the middle of a fucking green screen, and just have no idea what's going on.
Painted
Just
blue,
say,
except for his belly.
So, I mean, does this need to be like family friendly, or I think I'd watch it if it's dark and gritty and everything that's horrifying about Sonic the Hedgehog, if you think about it too much, came to light in this movie. Like there are spike traps, and Sonic like runs over it, and he just sees like innocent creatures impaled. Like that satirical form of Sonic, I would love that in a live action. That could be pretty amazing in my mind.
And that's the other question is like the Sonic games when they came out, they weren't heavy on story, you know? It's about the mechanics and the bright colored world and defeating the fat mustachioed bad guy and saving animals. Then whenever Archie Comics got a hold of it and whenever the cartoon series started appearing, I guess there's been 3 different iterations of that so far. That's really where the narrative of the Sonic world came up.
Yeah.
And there are so many different takes on Sonic that I guess the producers have any fucking way, they can go any way they want. There isn't a script out for this film yet, but I wonder if they're going to go into the more of the dark, twisted, kind of corrupt Cyber City shit, or goofy, friendly, just gotta go fast, or if they're going to pull Howard the Duck, and within 15 minutes, we're going to look at Rouge the Bat naked, which, Matt, I'm sure you'd be pleased.
And then Sonic's actually like having withdrawals, and he's in the bathroom taking a chili dog through a glory hole.
Oh,
yeah.
dude, this could be an
some track
adaptation
marks
of
on
Sonic for Hire. Is that the name of that? Is that a Dorkly series? I can't remember who makes that. Yeah, I think it's Sonic for Hire. Fuck yeah, it should be an adaptation of that. There's no hope. Like, is there any fucking hope in this?
Yeah, no. There's no way.
I
don't
mean,
think so.
So maybe. No one's wanted to touch this franchise. In terms of a movie, it was sold
I was
off
gonna
by
say
Sony
a lot of people
earlier,
want
right?
to touch that franchise. They just are the dark corners of the internet.
So
Sure
now
enough.
Paramount has it, and which I don't think they're known for making dark and gritty, are they? Sony
I
had
mean,
it
like, didn't
previously.
they do the Highlander movies? The first 2? I could be wrong about
They
that.
did the cartoon remake of it.
I I grew up watching that shit. I fucking loved it. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But no, I think
kinda did
Paramount
it,
may have done at least the second Highlander movie. I'm not gonna Google it. We're always wrong. Welcome to We're Wrong Cast.
Literally
there's no
lose a
hope,
turn fits that just fine.
Right. So,
But, I
by the
mean-
way, trivia hour. Do you guys know who Sonic the Hedgehog was based on? He was based on 2 living individuals.
A hedgehog and Blue Man Group.
2 specific individuals. Okay, I guess I'm not gonna do the countdown timer. Bill Clinton and
What?
Michael Jackson.
Huh?
That is a
What?
fact. That is an undisputable fact. Whenever
How do you
Sonic the Hedgehog was created, it was whenever Bill Clinton was on his campaign to getting elected. So he was all over the world, on television everywhere, talking about the up and coming, Democrat representative or whatever. And his attitude, the way he carried himself, his "oh yeah, smoked weed, I don't care," or whatever.
Oh,
his
right,
"I play the
like
saxophone, I'm crazy." He was very Matthew McConaughey, but
That's
Oh,
how I
God.
see it, man. I just be like, you know what I like
just
about
fucking
being
realized
president?
we had Matthew McConaughey as a president. Shit.
You ever blow a dude under the desk? Be a lot cooler if you did.
Yeah. So because of that attitude, that's what they based Sonic the Hedgehog's attitude off of, and Michael Jackson's style with like the bright red shoes and the white gloves. That's literally
Wow.
if they fucked.
That's
Oh God. I can't unsee that. Moving
Yeah.
on. It's Columbus Day, folks, and we're going to celebrate the old-fashioned way. Stay tuned at the end of the episode where we have footage of us going door to door and warmly informing everyone that we live there now and it's our shit. We don't do that. We'd get shot. We're in Texas. So,
I'm in the Texas of the North. I'd also get shot.
Jordan, you made an uncouth comment towards the end of last week's episode, but I think it was also a portent of the terrible future. You see, pumpkin spice is coming, and unfortunately, it's got a a vendetta.
Let's just do a PSA here real quick. I want to inform everybody out there. Like, I need animations. No, the more you know. Be on the lookout.
The more you know, bub.
Don't let it be a racial thing or just something where you're stereotyping. But if you see UGG boots, someone enjoying fall a little too much, and headed towards or out of a Starbucks, and probably headed towards another Starbucks, they may be a terrorist.
Throw a pumpkin at their head. They'll love it.
It's true. The newest advancement in chemical warfare is, in fact, pumpkin spice. Unfortunately, Baltimore was the first to discover this last week, when last Tuesday afternoon, hazardous material crews were called in for a strange odor. Fire and hazmat crews were called around 2:30 to a high school where they immediately evacuated it. 2 students and 3 adults were taken to a hospital with unknown injuries. And dozens of students were triaged on scene. They took readings to try to see if there was any radioactivity or whatever crazy shit was happening. And take that part out. It was a plug-in air freshener pumpkin spice scent. It didn't burn up. It wasn't like a malfunction in the wiring. It was just a Glade fucking... I don't know if it was Glade or not. I shouldn't probably throw a brand out there, but...
Yeah.
A pumpkin spice plug-in air freshener and really, really, I guess, amazing air circulation system that just pummeled the entire school.
What the fuck? I mean, what could even be the cause? Like, are that many people in Baltimore allergic to whatever, essential oils they use to make that smell? I mean, what is it? There's no explanation of it?
No.
You know what it was? Oh, go ahead, Matt.
This guy has answers.
Go.
If y'all are ready for him, or we can, do the lose a turn thing and speculate wildly without evidence.
Yes.
I'm okay either way.
Merca, come on, this is what we do.
I was going to say, I'm probably injuries from because they're all high school kids, so they have a hard time controlling their downstairs emotions. So it's all a bunch of boys. They smell the pumpkin spice, and it gets them riled up, and they're just, you're trying to tuck it down. And
so, I don't have all the facts here, but basically, there was one incident of someone being hospitalized. There were several people that were taken by EMTs.
Oh, taken.
Correct. 3 students.
I have a particular set of spices.
And there was actually one more teacher that was taken away for an unrelated reason. They didn't disclose that. This is very likely a case of so mass hysteria sometimes spreads in weird ways and creates unique placebo effects in people.
Like cats and dogs living together?
What I'm saying is, it is very possible that people were smelling this. Maybe one of the teachers had a heart attack or a stroke in the middle of this, and they started thinking, oh my god, is this actually a terrorist attack? Am I breathing in noxious gases? And so they go into panic or anxiety attacks and passed out from that.
Well, way to take something funny and turn it to
sorry.
sad reality.
I'm just going to call it a stretch so we can keep it funny.
I'm reasonable.
Meh. Okay, Mr. Reasonable, explain this. There's a music program called, Recorders for Sad Kids, that goes around the world giving kids plastic recorders and teaches them how to play hot cross buns for 17 hours straight.
Sometimes they're bamboo.
Oh my god. I'm sorry, I hate the fucking recorder. I have night terrors about...
I still never understood teaching the recorder.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking awful. It's like, hey, you want to get your ass beat? Do this anywhere outside of this one class. It's the only time in the world it's appropriate to play a recorder.
let me wash everybody's by putting them in a hot bucket of other people's spit.
Yeah, well, speaking of that, it seems as if this one philanthropic group that travels around, I think it's a traveling charity, I don't know, or a nationwide charity that provides students and lessons in recorders. They encourage the kids to paint them, take them home, play with them, all that fun stuff. There's not a lot of details on this yet, but apparently one of the teachers decided to clean them the old-fashioned way with some vigor and friction, and apparently contaminated like an entire batch of recorders with semen.
There
was a lot of elbow grease involved.
Just the notion of trying to clean it out.
Why is this recorder not getting clean?
This was an elementary school, yeah?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Poor children. Oh my god.
Yeah.
This is not
funny,
I'm
laughing.
Jack.
That's so fucked up.
It really is. Like, I mean, I thought this is gonna be like funny and we can carry, but it's like it's just fucking awful. Like, he just came into some recorders. But
I just like how Matt though just it wasn't elementary school, was it? You're like, unfortunately, yeah. Like there was like any outcome was gonna be like, oh no, it's fine, preschool.
So it does turn out, evidently the kids weren't supposed to be playing these things. They were supposed to be painting them and bringing them back.
So that was okay. Wait.
No, they're supposed to paint the instruments they were given and play them constantly.
And not put their mouths on them.
But
this gets bad. I mean, every time we go into any detail, I just want to back off.
Yeah.
We can just do that.
There's a lot of weird fetishes out there, and I get some of them, but never have I wanted to ejaculate while listening to a recorder.
Star Spangled Banner.
Never. That's my jam.
Maybe it's just a sadist. He's like, these poor kids. He couldn't contain himself. It was truly an accident.
Yeah, I don't.
I have another story here about a woman who is petitioning to go grave robbing to prove that she is not dead. The world's oldest known zombie lives in Spain. Juana Escudero is just trying to prove she's alive. Apparently, 7 years ago, she went to renew her driver's license, and they said, no, you're dead. We aren't doing this. Since then, almost every government agency has her on record as being dead as fuck. They don't even state how she died, but she's dead as fuck. And she has had issues getting medical treatment, getting her license, doing anything. So now she's legitimately opening up a petition to get her grave exhumed to prove that she is in fact
We should
alive.
really fuck with everybody. Go find her and put her in there.
I think that comes with some jail time there, but
how? She's already dead.
Oh,
We're returning.
Double
shit.
jeopardy. Can kill that which is dead.
So in this situation, could we technically be prosecuted for that if she's already dead?
I'm sure. Lose a turn does
If anyone
not
wants to
advise
offer
doing
legal
this,
counsel to
but-
lose a turn, you can contact us.
Lose a turn does not advise doing this. However, if anyone does do this, please give us the scoop on it.
Yeah, please know we only speak in hypotheticals.
Yeah.
And we're always wrong. Speaking of always wrong, I have a little game I want to play with you guys. Are y'all ready?
What's up?
We're going to introduce a new segment here, tentatively titled Stranger Than Fiction. It's going to be a lightning round trivia in which I ask each of you one question. I give you a scenario, and you say whether or not it is real or utter bullshit. Points will be calculated, and the winner will receive the ability to travel to Spain to grave? I don't know. I got nothing. Y'all ready?
Let's go.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Who wants to take the first bullet? Let me look at the rotation here. We're going to go Jack, Jordan, Matt. Ready?
All right.
All right, Jack. Uncle Ted, also known as Ted Nugent, started dating a 17-year-old whenever he was 30 and decided to get legal guardianship of her.
It's true.
So true. Dirty Uncle Ted.
Yeah. That's
1
definitely
point
true.
to Jack.
Yes.
Jordan. Mario.
Oh,
You may have heard of him, the plumber.
I meant, okay. Wrong Mario.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, not him. The other one, yeah. Was named after Nintendo of America's asshole landlord.
I remember where Mario got his name. I didn't think that was that, though. I'm going to say false. Yeah, well.
It's absolutely true. They had an asshole
I've heard that
landlord who was
before.
charging them back rent from their warehouse, and they decided, because he was such a dick and created a huge scene, they'd name Jumpman, in America's version of Mario, after him. Years later, he stated, where's my fucking comeuppance? Where's my pay for y'all using my name? And they're like, well, if you weren't such a dick, you'd get paid. Most
wow.
famous video game character ever was named after an asshole.
I love
Matt, you ready for another Nintendo question?
Sure. Bring it.
CEO of Nintendo of America, Reggie, first applied to Sega before applying to Nintendo.
I'm gonna say false. I think he applied to Atari.
All right, asshole. You and Jack are in the lead with 1 point.
it.
Jack,
Yeah.
you can buy an Abraham Lincoln scented candle at Amazon.com.
Oh, absolutely.
2 points to Jack. I'm throwing him the slow balls. You'll get that right.
Fuck that. It's in my cart.
Jordan. Dr. Eggman was actually based off of John Wayne Gacy.
I'm going to go false on that.
All right, point for Jordan. You're now on the board. Jack is in the lead. And Matt. Lara Croft has been proposed to over 36 times.
Over? Oh yeah, true.
All right, so now we have 2, 1, and 2. Tiebreaker. I'm going to give y'all a scenario here. First one to guess correct will get 3 billion points and win.
I could use
Yay.
those for my lose a turn reward.
You'd use this. Okay. We're going to
You get your turn
go
back?
with 2017. A fictional character enters a real-life store with the intent to rob it.
Yes, true.
This isn't a true or false anymore.
Damn it.
You now first person to guess the perpetrator who is a fictional
Bugs
character
Bunny.
in a real-life scenario gets the points.
See, but not
Chewbacca.
Bugs Bunny.
A masked menace enters a Go-Go's corner store last month and demands money. The intent is to force the cashier
Darth
to
Vader.
hand them all of their cash.
Hamburger.
Oh,
And
there
Jordan
it
with
is.
3 billion points. I'm afraid you're slightly
Yes.
over
Makes
Matt and
sense.
Jack's 2 points. Darth Vader.
Damn it. Damn it.
Okay, let me try one more. It's
1-1.
still anybody's game.
All right.
In 2015, a masked menace enters a convenience store with the intent to rob it and
Darth
force the cashier.
Darth Vader.
Jordan wins with 6 billion points. I found out today Darth Vader's a busy motherfucker, robbing stores left and right. In the first scenario that happened last month, Darth Vader was robbing a gas station and tripped and fell on his fucking ass, grabbed cash, and ran out the door.
I want the day where we get in 2032 at in Dagobah.
In the second scenario, the cashier grabbed the closest weapon to him, which wasn't a lightsaber, but a bottle of blue cheese dressing, and threw it at Darth
Jesus.
Vader's face. Darth Vader, even though he was armed with a gun, took the bottle to the face and ran the fuck away crying without any money. He was busted by cops. His face was fucked up. It was a deadly ass bottle of blue cheese. Y'all beware. Gross.
I hate that shit. I'd probably cry too if it hit me in the face.
So y'all reminded me of something. I think Jordan does have to step out though, so we'll say our goodbyes to him.
Family versus.
So long, farewell, Arvida saying goodbye. Show your nipples. All right.
Yeah, so we're about to talk about Mario's nipples.
Oh, yeah, those sexy fucking nips. Thank you for bringing that
up. Have y'all heard about that?
Heard about it. I've been rubbing one out for the last 3 days.
You have heard about it, Chuck. Do you know what the game name is?
Is that not part of Super Mario Odyssey?
I think it is Odyssey. I couldn't remember.
Yeah, it is. Okay, I'm about to have that game soon, so.
Yeah, Odyssey is the new upcoming game, but if I'm okay, go ahead and I'm gonna look it up while you're telling us.
Yeah, please do. So basically, there is this huge controversy over the fact that Mario has nipples in a swimsuit section of Super Mario Odyssey.
Right.
Whereas they could have easily covered it up or something like that. That's what was that everyone would have expected. And they also removed, as part of canon, his tattoo that he had on a Nintendo Power magazine from, I think, 2005.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
We do apologize for the disorganization. This is a completely off the cuff subject. But
one thing I do want to mention one thing about this real quick. I haven't heard about the actual controversy of Mario having nipples, but they definitely could have left that out like they did in Breath of the Wild as Link. When you're shirtless, you don't have nipples.
Oh, yeah.
That's the controversy. As it turns out, Link doesn't have nipples. Mario's man.
But it is something that I did see the other day that I thought was kind of funny. Is that like it seems like Nintendo's new obsession is to make all their like main characters or anything like that all shirtless in all their new games. So I guess we'll see what happens when Metroid comes out.
Okay, now I was gonna make one joke, and now I actually just have to get on the serious. The joke was gonna be they saw how well the Dead Alive franchise did and thought, oh well, we just need to have all of our characters scandalously like dressed.
Right.
But the fact is, in the very first Metroid game, based off how fast you beat it, you get to see her in various states of undress.
Oh, weird. I know
if you just beat the game in like a billion hours, nothing happens. I think if you beat it like in under 4 hours or 6 hours, her helmet's off and you get to see her hair. And if you beat it in like under 2 hours or 4 hours, she's just in a bathing suit. And there's also a code in the very first Metroid on NES that if you enter that at the beginning, it's like Justin Bieber. It's not really Justin Bieber, but it's something very like that. If you enter that code in, you get to play her just in her swimsuit. So Nintendo already tried that number a while ago. But
I can't find it. I really wanted to share it, but everyone needs this image in their mind. There have been so many Photoshops of Mario's nipples now that they've been unveiled. One of the funniest that I saw was someone zoomed in on the nipple and they put Mario's nose and mustache where the little pokey part should be.
I think we already saw Mario's nipples though, and that was in another Ron Jeremy joint with the Super Mario Brothers porn when he was Squeegee Mario.
Oh jeez, I forgot that
he's gonna cross-pollinate between Nintendo and Sega. God, can't wait for him to play Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm gonna come fast. I mean, gotta go fast. Oh boy, I'm getting a little hot here.
You get a little flustered.
A little flustered.
Sweat's going down the back of my neck. Oh, it's just awful.
Got those tasty meat sweats going.
I can't.
Guys, I want to tell you a little story about a family in London who one day looked under the bed. I guess the daughter looked under the bed and saw a terrifying, like 7-inch long, 2-inch wide, pink striped lizard of death and runs to tell her parents, "Mom, there's something underneath my bed." And like, "Oh no, you're just being a crazy kid. Don't just go to bed." And finally, after enough kicking and screaming, they look and do in fact find there's a terrible, frightening monster underneath their bed. So they do what any rational parents would do, freak out and call animal control, who then shows up, gets under the bed, and pulls out what is just a wadded up sock. They overreacted, it was a fucking sock. And so as he leaves, our heroic animal control person said you should tidy up your room and take care of your socks. But I should remind you, where there's one, another one will always turn up soon. They're usually in pairs. Ha ha ha. It's a fucking chameleon. It changes into shit. There's more than one in the house, is what he told her. Now they're fucking lizard people. This dude's an asshole, and we are fucked. Don't go to London. They're all lizard people now, thanks to that asshole.
I like how it almost sounded like a G.I. Joe PSA.
Yeah. Right before leaving, you said G.I. Joe. Well, as we are wont to do, we are about to discuss yet another ridiculous lawsuit. It appears that a Wichita Falls woman is now filing a federal lawsuit against the U.S. government because an employee at a bowling alley on Air Force Base ruined her entire life by bringing her a tray of nachos, and some of the cheese rolled off onto her finger. It was just so hot that it destroyed her entire everything. Apparently, the cheese was like nuclear, and the employee rushed to wipe the cheese off of her finger whenever it spilled, and he wiped it in such a terrible way that it removed all of her skin, and so naturally the U.S. government is at fault. So I don't even know where to begin with this, guys. I mean, there's so much that I've been trying to fact check for days. I can't find anything as to whether or not her skin literally came off and she wasn't able to work. Okay, that was my question. Yeah, but this happened 2 years ago, and she's just now filing the suit, saying that she lost her job because she was no longer able to work. She had to go through all sorts of intensive psychological and physical therapy, and ultimately had to have a surgery done on her finger. Like,
do we know if it was her dominant hand or?
That's a good question. I mean, assuming that she took the tray, it's likely that it was. But either way, the lawsuit says that they failed to keep the nacho cheese at an appropriate temperature. The U.S. government did. They failed to keep the nacho cheese from touching her because they should have had on-site SWAT. They failed to pour the cheese on the nachos in such a manner to avoid the incident. They failed to take proper evasive maneuvers. And they wiped her finger, causing the skin to be removed and furthering the damage. And they failed to adequately train the employee on proper food temperatures and handling. And failed to perform due diligence.
So now we know now that we're going to soon here in the next few years, because of this lawsuit, we're going to start seeing something referred to as the DONCR, the Department of Nacho Cheese Regulations. Mm-hmm. And because of this.
It's absolutely true. And it'll be required here on out whenever you're making nachos to spell caution hot with cheese on top of the fucking tray.
So, I mean, God, that has to be really hot nacho cheese.
Yeah. I mean,
well,
like,
it's got to be a cheese sauce, too. It can't just be melted cheese.
That, or this lady is just falsifying shit to try to get money like a lot of other people do. We've talked about this before. I mean, trying to find an excuse to get free money.
Right, and that's where I instinctually go when I read an article like this. She wants $95,000 and is suing the U.S. government for a nacho cheese incident.
Now, But when you say $95,000, that doesn't sound like a whole lot. That sounds like probably how much the surgery cost.
And that's what, I can't find anything about this surgery. What did they have to surgerize?
I'm sure a skin graft and probably some physical therapy afterwards. There's nerve damage, so if it's her dominant hand, she's got to learn to use her finger right again. If she's getting bad feedback from her nerves, it's going to be really hard to even do things like type.
So, I mean, here's the... Okay, I mean, I am not a nacho cheesiest or a nacho cheeseologist. The cheese is either prepared in a pot or via some machine that you plug into a wall and press an on button, right? There's not some sort of, like, nuclear reaction and cheese barometer and all this extra and like, it's just a simple machine or it's a pot on a stove. And at
that point, if it would get that hot, it would be. I think you would start seeing some visual cues, like it's fucking brown, it's burning,
it's eating like through the paper. Oh my god, it's sentient. It's taking over Las Vegas.
the paper has now caught fire for no reason. Like...
Well, and so that's why I said it's got to be a cheese sauce instead of a like melted cheese. Melted cheese, like you couldn't get that over 140 without absolutely ruining.
Right.
So this sounds like it's scalding temperatures, maybe 170 degrees, and I don't know. Maybe it's they were preparing it and they took it straight from preparation, and normally it goes to storage before it's applied, and they just it went straight on the nachos and it was still way too hot. That's interesting. I don't know enough about the logistics of nacho making, I guess.
We need to call Todd from Code Monkeys. I'm sorry for this dated reference to anyone who ever had G4 TV when it was a thing, but yes, me and Mother share many interests, one of which is our passion for nacho cheese. The other is my passion for her. Sorry. I don't get it.
So, and the government thing is explained by the fact that
being
it's
on
an
an
air base. So.
It's on a base.
It's the first time I read it. I didn't catch the airbase, so that's why I flagged this as an article, but I had to bring it up regardless. I mean,
right.
Oh, maybe this is a secret government test facility weaponizing nacho cheese.
You see planes or Harriers flying over the enemy country, just spraying nacho cheese on everybody.
Yes, and smart jalapeno bombs just to fucking blind the citizens. Shit, man, this cover. She's leaking from a cover up. I mean, 95,000 isn't a lot of hush money. They should give it to her, but it's already like, shit, guys, we're in deep now. We're in the know.
So, man, the next country to be attacked by us is going to be the tastiest country ever.
War's delicious. Fallout 5
it kind of brings a new meaning to toe cheese.
Oh, boy. Guys, oh, boy. Let's move on. Let's get away from food and talk about more food.
yeah. I have something I want to kind of bring up, and I don't know if y'all heard about it or know much about it, but yesterday, being Saturday, October 7th, McDonald's decided to release their old 1998 Mulan Szechuan sauce for one day only as a promotion for Rick and Morty, or because of Rick and Morty, because they brought it up on the show.
Right.
That being said, I don't know if whoever the guy who does the projections for McDonald's is just fully fucking retarded or what, but they ended up just like putting like somewhere between like 70 to maybe 100 packets per participating stores, which like Austin only had 2 McDonald's that were participating, one south, one north. And literally every McDonald's that had this promotion going on had thousands of people lined up at it. And only the first, like, anywhere from 20 to 70 people, depending on how many packets each store had, got it. And then, like, each of them only had 10 posters to give out. That you're supposed to get a poster with it as well. I was in class, a premarital class yesterday when this was going on, so I had my best friend go up to McDonald's at the time to go try to pick some up. He said the whole entire place was packed, and the second he walked up in the line, people were walking out saying they only had 20 packets and they're already out. And like, there's so many people just still sitting there waiting, and they've been waiting since like 5 and 8 a.m. all for only like 20 to 70 packets per store. Like, I think either the projection guy is completely on crack or doesn't know what he's doing.
The nugget sauce policy is real.
Yeah, right?
Whoa.
Yeah, it's insane. It's ridiculous. And like, a part of it, we were discussing this, and we were kind of thinking that maybe part of this could have been like, well, since there's so much demand for it, let's see how it actually turns out if we were to release it back in the store for a day. Just to see, what the turnout would be. And obviously, way more. It turned into some places rioting. There were people outside rioting, they're fighting and all this stuff. Some guy was standing at a McDonald's willing to pay $200 or $300. He had stacks of hundreds to try to get one of them. And now they're going on eBay for hundreds of dollars. One packet of fucking Szechuan
fucking
sauce.
Szechuan scalpers.
So, I mean, fuck McDonald's.
They took a page from
Seriously.
Nintendo's book here.
Yeah, right?
That is absurd. That is so... Oh,
yeah,
God.
It's absolutely insane.
I hope they get brand damage from that. That is such a mishandling. They hyped it up. They knew it was hyped up in pop culture. What did they think? They weren't going to have the, 100 million customers they have every day that, hey, yeah, I'd like to try it today. 20 to 30 packets a store? That's insane.
Yeah. Like, it was like some stores had like maybe like 70, 100. Some had, the one we went to up north had like 20. I know that there's the one in South Austin that had people waiting there until 5 a.m. and they were walking out, handing out tickets to everybody in line until they ran out of tickets, which each ticket signified a pack of sauce. And they ran out after like, I think 100, maybe 200 or something like that at the South Austin location. And there was like thousands of people there.
On them. I'm glad they did that. It tells people, yeah, we aren't going to have any for you. Please don't spend any more time in line. At the same time, that should not have been a situation. Like there should have been the distinct question of, does it make economic sense for us to print out all these tickets because we're going to have to print out so many and then pay people to hand out tickets? Sorry.
No,
I'm upset about this,
dude. It pissed me off because I was so expecting to have it yesterday. I didn't expect them to be that much of a shortage on them. So
I heard briefly I didn't hear it. I saw it while I was skimming through other news, and I meant to go back to the article. I didn't. I heard someone was dressed up as Rick Sanchez and stabbed someone over the Szechuan sauce. While people around him were chanting Pickle Rick, and I can't remember the other one. I think it was a music saying.
I didn't hear that one. Holy fuck.
Yeah, it could be fake. I just saw that story, and I'm
gonna have to locate and research that after this. Yeah, it's so ridiculous. It upset me. I was so sad.
It's insane. That is so insane.
Okay.
Come on, do better. You pay someone a team hundreds of millions of dollars to handle your marketing, and you make a flub like this.
They knew what the fuck they were doing, dude. There's a website called buttermilkcrispytenders.com. It's a domain that was launched just for this fucking purpose. And the very first thing they say is, get obsessed. We're going to try our blah, 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 blah. Ready to celebrate, we're giving away 1,000 limited edition hand-numbered screen-printed posters for all 10 sauces in our legendary lineup, including Szechuan, worthy of pop culture status. They only had 1,000 posters. 1,000.
Yeah.
This is McDonald's. This is America. This is on a Saturday. They had 1,000 for the country. They launched this website. Now, they had 9 other shitty sauces that no one gives any dicks about.
No.
And then their fucking Rick and Morty sauce. They knew what the fuck they were doing. Their Twitter's completely fucking overblown.
Oh, I know. Twitter went nuts with it. Like, people blew up.
This is fucking bullshit. This is like, oh my god. Not that I ever had any fucking respect for McDonald's.
Do you think this is a new Coke fiasco, or that's what they're going for here?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is
piss
like
everyone off and bring it back afterwards, and now everyone loves it even more.
Walmart became so famous after all those kids got shot waiting in line for the PS3. Can we get that kind of publicity? Like, let's hand out plastic shivs and give 2 pieces of sauce to 100 people. Like, fuck, this is...
I imagine
it makes me fucking angry. I'm
I'm
not even having fun with the show anymore. I'm fucking pissed.
No, the fact that they put you in a situation to where, oh yeah, I want to go up there and try this Szechuan sauce and actually enjoy it with my nuggets, but I'm gonna McDonald's is gonna be a Nazi about it and say, no, you only get one. You get one dipping cup.
And we only have 70 for all 1,000 of you.
There is something very wrong with people that are stingy with dipping sauces for your food. It gets to me when I have to go up and ask for extra sauce. There's no reason I should ever have to ask for extra sauce. That's stupid.
Well, dude, McNugget policy is real. Like I said earlier, I mean, that's a fucking thing. But Jesus, that is infuriating, dude. I hate the planet a lot more.
Yeah, I know. I was so upset because I thought I was totally going to come home yesterday and have some waiting for me, but...
Were you going to eat it?
Yeah. Eat the shit out of it.
Fucking idiot.
Like,
you could have sold it for millions. I mean,
apparently.
Knowing that's probably going to come back anyway, right?
Well, yeah, I'll lose value at that
now.
point. You could try it then, yeah. Buy low, sell high, Mullins.
You're right.
Fuck.
You're right.
Dude, I can't... y'all make me feel better, please. Y'all have anything positive to share? Because
it sounds like we need some wins. Yeah.
I think I could take a win.
I got one.
Boy.
One I was really surprised about. So yesterday, like I was stating, I actually had to go to a premarital class. Kind of helped, like, it makes it cheaper on your marriage license and everything like that. And I just thought it was gonna be some bullshit that I'm just gonna have to push through for 8 hours and just be annoyed with. But it was actually really eye-opening, informative. Learned even a lot about myself in it, and like it was really cool. It was actually a lot better experience than I expected, and a really good takeaway. So definitely something to look into if you're getting engaged or married or anything like that. Look into it, and it made it cheaper for the marriage license. So took $60 off of it. So
nice.
And the class is free.
Oh,
yeah.
Jake,
awesome.
You got anything?
I do. I think I got a couple of things. I'll try to be a little bit more succinct this week. I know last week I went on a rampage. Me and the family started watching Riverdale. I think last week I brought up the fact they're making a new Sabrina the Teenage Witch show. The CW is meant to be a dark, twisted kind of take on the chilling adventures of Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Also, today that we're recording, I believe, there's a leaked audition trailer for an Australian actress, her tryouts for Sabrina. But this is a spin-off done by the same showrunners who do Riverdale, and I finally sat down and gave it a shot, and I'm not gonna lie, I fucking love it. I love it. It's definitely kind of like probably geared for a little bit younger audience, but it's still dark and twisted and touches on, I mean, straight out the gate, we're talking about murder, and it's a whodunit murder mystery mixed in with a lot of, like, pretty severe subjects, from rape to incest to all sorts of crazy shit. It's
So this is an Archie parody or an Archie remake? Is that right?
Well, it's a TV show done by the CW. It's available on Netflix. It's called Riverdale, and yes, it is based off of Archie. You have Archie, Jughead, Veronica, Betty, and a slew of Josie and the Pussycats.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's
actually
really fucking. It's worth watching. I'm
Awesome.
surprised that actors are all brilliant. Even if like the way it's sold isn't your bag and it doesn't grip you for some reason, I still have to say, like, the cast is amazing. And the cinematography is even brilliant. I love it. I do. And we just finished season 1 last night. Season 2 airs this Wednesday on CW.
Awesome.
That's when it starts again. So
Sounds
for the
like the CW is really nailing it lately.
You know what? They really are. 2018 to 2019 season is when they're gonna bring up the first season of Sabrina the Teenage Witch, which is done by the same showrunners. So
Okay.
I'm honestly like all in. I'm excited as hell to see that. So that's just an exciting thing. My win for this week, the thing that kept me like positive. What was it I was talking about last week? Y'all remember?
I wasn't here for last week.
Oh yeah, was I going on about Symphony of the Night, Castlevania?
You were there.
Man,
there was a ukulele or a guitar thing as well.
Oh yeah, Banjo Guy Ali. That's right.
Banjo Guy. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, this last week I've still just been playing the hell out of Symphony of the Night, and I just want to bring up a classic game that really is a perfect example of an ideal game. For those who haven't played many of the entries of the Castlevania series, Symphony of the Night was different in a lot of ways from the mold, and it really kind of helps cement the Metroidvania genre. I played through it, beat it pretty quickly, and for anyone who's played, you're probably groaning because I didn't actually beat it. I got the fake ending. They hoodwink you. You play through the game, you think you win because you didn't do enough exploring, you get an ending, you think the game's over, and it turns out that you've barely scratched the surface and you're only like 40% through with the game. So
Jesus.
I started back
I
up,
like that.
tried it again, and found all this more. It's so amazing. It was a very rewarding game, and when it comes to replayability, there's a lot of games that I say have replayability. Nothing has really touched this. Like, this is a game that even though I've now beaten 3 times, I still want to play again and try different things. And
awesome.
There's so many different modes and ways to approach it. It's a very rewarding game with an amazing soundtrack, and this should be held as a standard of what gaming should be going forward. That being said, my win is also out to some indie games. I finally picked up Cave Story, which I've been listening to the soundtrack forever just because I listened to Rainwave CC, which is a video game streaming station, and I love the soundtrack to Cave Story. So I finally picked it up and I'm giving it a shot, and it's been really fun and rewarding. So that's it for me. I've rambled on again, even though I said I wasn't going to. I'm a liar.
So for me, I almost brought this up last week, but I wanted to be a little bit more informed about it and figure out how to present it easier. There is a YouTube creator named Joe Scott. He runs a channel called Answers with Joe. And he recently did an interview with a guy named Sean Webb, who has a channel called I Am Spirituality, and just wrote a book where he's reversing the emphasis on spirituality towards science and saying hacking your brain to I think it's called hacking your brain to happiness. So my pick is going to my win is really that interview, because they go into all kinds of detail discussing microtubules in the brain and how it turns out they may actually work in warm, wet environments, that they can pick up on quantum noise, and it's a different look on consciousness. Many people are unaware that Princeton actually runs a department dedicated to observing the effect of consciousness on reality, and there is a measurable effect of consciousness on random numbers that they have documented. So it's a very fascinating topic, but moreover, there's this idea that Sean Webb proposes of a way of separating your, I guess what would be your id from your ego, and overseeing that. And I've just been dealing with a lot of anxiety and at times even borderline depression over school and performance and life success, that it has been very beneficial for me to take some time and almost meditate about, okay, well, why am I upset right now? Or is it really I'm upset right now? Or is it that my brain is receiving hormonal responses that are making me feel upset. So it's not really that I am upset, it's the me is upset. I would highly recommend that anyone who has been struggling with anxiety take some time, go check out that interview, listen to him for an hour, and just try it to see if there's any noticeable effect. I know I have self-discovered that in the past in my life and found benefits from those ideas, but this really kind of solidified what I was intuiting before.
That's awesome.
Again, that is Sean Webb. It is Answers with Joe as the channel. Joe Scott is interviewing Sean Webb. Hacking Your Way to Happiness, I believe is the name of it.
And we'll have a link for the various. Well, I mean, I don't know. Is there a direct website link or just like a YouTube link or a Stitcher or Google Play link, whatever? We'll have a link in the show notes to where you can listen.
We'll give the YouTube link to it. He also has a downloadable podcast. There is a video.
Okay, yeah, we'll give the YouTube link in the description.
And I mean, that sounds awesome. I'll definitely go check that out. You know, somebody who also, as you know, deals with anxiety a lot.
Yeah, I think all of us do.
Yeah. And borderline depression as well. I think all of us have that as well. So definitely awesome. I'm gonna definitely check that out for sure.
Welcome to Happy Cast.
It's well worth an hour of your time just to hear someone say and show a little bit of science behind the idea that, yeah, you can be in a little bit more control of what you feel like is overwhelming you. Yeah. So.
Well, guys, I want to say thank you all for joining me this week, and thank you for listening. If you did, if you didn't listen, then fuck's wrong with you? If you have any interesting stories, topics, video game news, whatever, if you want to hear us discuss something or ask us any questions, you can email us at loseaturnradio@gmail.com. You can reach out to us or even get updates from us on our subreddit r/loseaturn. And pretty much links to all of our social media and everything can be found at our website, loseaturn.com. We love you guys. I mean, I had a lot of fun. Jack, Matt, love you guys.
I had some fun today, too, despite
awesome,
the pummeling you gave us. But hey, I do have one question. I want to ask our viewers, write us. Give me some insight to BFG. Does it stand for Big Friendly Giant or not? I'm asking for Elon Musk.
Thought you were going to say asking for a friend.
Does not stand for that. I think he knows what he's fucking saying, goddammit.
We'll try to talk. If we get a response, we'll talk about it next week.
Sure enough. Until next time.
Sooner or later